Good afternoon. It is Fast Facts and Features time with me, the brand ambassador, Jeanette Martin for Ethical Flooring Ltd. And much like, I don't know about you, Kevin, in January, you tend to take stock and you want to know where you belong and how your business is going to progress and what's new and exciting in the different areas that we choose to connect our business to. So I thought today we would chat a little bit about the organizations that any business needs to belong to, for a sense of standard above your own standard that you set for your business. And I want to kick this off by reminding those out there, today is the third Wednesday of every month. And just recently, Ethical Flooring with Tanya, Kevin, and their children have joined Night Shift Street Ministries. I've been a volunteer there since 2015, and it was a well-chosen organization to give back to. And we, as both, I have my own company, My BC Consulting, and so grateful for my relationship with Kevin and Tanya, that they saw what I was doing in community and they wanted to come along, and they love it. I've seen Tanya blossom in her service of our street friends, and your daughters were just on fire with magic in their beautiful notes that were handwritten to our little goodie bags for last month. And I just want to commend you, Kevin, for recognizing that part of a good business is giving beyond, say, to a organization that you have to belong to in order to be seen as legit in business. So well done, my friend.
Hey, it's it's not something that we have to do, but it's something that we have great joy in doing. And Tanya as well, mostly her. Obviously, she's done a great job, and it's not just for business relations. It's not that at all, really. It's just part of being a good human, right? And it's we've been given so much, and we have so much, and obviously there's people on the street who are struggling, who have nothing. And what we can do to help them out is easy and as little, and everything that we can do is good.
It brings tears to my eyes, and thank you for watching. It is my birthday tomorrow. Big 5'8" tomorrow. I can't believe I've been on this planet God's put me on this planet for 58 years for a good purpose, and doing a little bit of fundraiser for Night Shift Ministry. So I'll make sure I put my link for my fundraiser on the ethical page to see if anybody of the followers want to donate. So let's get into the business associations, that they're standards for your industry. Let's go into some of those that, as I dry my tears here, because I'm just so happy whenever I talk to, tears of pure joy when I talk about Night Shift Street Ministries, that Ethical Flooring chooses to be a member of, Kevin.
Yeah, that's, you want to hear a dirty little secret first before we start?
Are you willing to share it to everybody on LinkedIn after I post this, and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook?
Yes, I know we didn't talk about this, so now I'm gonna perhaps scare you. It's not a big thing. But what people may not know is that there actually is no governing body or association or certification in the floor covering industry. So it is a bit of a Wild West, so to speak. And that has mostly negatives. I was going to say, a lot of things are positive and negative in life. I'm like, nah, that's pretty much a negative, because there is such a wide range of quality and standards that people hold themselves to. Like, say if I have a friend who's a physician, he is ultimately responsible to the College of Physicians. If you're a certified mechanic, you've been tested and you've passed, and you're responsible to their certification and their governing body. There really is no such thing in the floor covering industry. So anybody can call themselves a floor covering expert, floor covering installer, floor covering sales person. So yeah, and the only reason I bring that up is that it's super important to do your due diligence to make sure that you're comfortable with who you're working with ultimately, because anybody can set up shop and say that they're a floor covering expert and pretend that they are, when in fact, maybe they sold hot dogs 2 weeks ago, and now they're into the floor covering industry. So
Right.
yeah, just a little bit of a cautionary thing that there is no mandatory certification involved. So that being said, there are voluntary associations that we are part of, and obviously the biggest is the BCFCA, which is the BC Floor Covering Association. If there was such a thing as a governing body in this province, I suppose they would be it. But again, it is a voluntary association. But yeah, they're doing great work. I mean, I'd be honest to say that over the previous decades, it had perhaps gotten a little stale in terms of the leadership and the direction. But some of the people that have joined in the last 5 years are exceptionally talented, exceptionally forward thinking, and really want to take this industry, which like I said, has been a bit of a Wild West, and move it into more of a professional standard. So yeah, kudos to them, and we are a part of them for sure.
I'm not sure if you remember, but I sat on the board for 5 years of the BC Floor Covering Association. So I do know in that paradigm shift that has definitely happened in that 5 to 7 years, as you said, the representation of the different board members are incredible, from the suppliers of the flooring to the glues to the estimators to the people that are installing the floor. It's a very well-rounded organization.
Yeah, and I just mentioned that
they give volunteer.
Yeah, and so I definitely, I just mentioned that to give kudos to, like you said, to those who have stepped up to join. Maybe it's something I would do at some point in the future when I'm not running a business 110% of my time. But yeah, they're doing a great job in revitalizing that organization. So another voluntary organization is the National Wood Flooring Association, so the NWFA. Most people in the hardwood industry will recognize that acronym. And again, they don't have any specific authority as a governing body, or as they do offer certification for sure. But they're primarily used as a resource, and also during times if there's an issue with a floor, especially specifically a hardwood floor, there are NWFA certified inspectors that can be hired, either from a store level, from a consumer level, or as a joint partnership between the two to discover what happened with the floor. So yeah, they are.
And I do know they have amazing education, because I still get the Hardwood Floor magazine that they put out, in the education that are always looking to provide that education. So if you want to be said that you have done the legit training, it's available.
It is, yeah. And our new, our new sales reps that have joined or that are new to the industry, they go through the sales training portion modules on the NWFA. They call it NWFA University. So again, it's a lot of excellent knowledge there that can be tapped into. The magazine is fantastic. The courses they offer are fantastic. And yeah, so again, it's just another sign that you care about your industry and you want to stay up to date on all of the latest goings ons and the technological improvements and these type of things. So yeah, we are part of the NWFA. What else? Part of the Better Business Bureau. Most people know that organization. So it adds a layer of accountability. If people are ultimately unhappy with us, then it provides an outlet for them. Thankfully, we don't have any complaints, but that is
right the first time. What a concept in business, right?
Yeah, or follow up and take care of your issues when you do screw up, right? Like it is impossible to do everything 100% all the time, and that's hard for like an OCD type person like me to wrap your head around that. But construction is construction. It can be a bit unpredictable at times. So, but it just depends on the rubber hits the road on a good company is when something goes wrong, right? And it's, do they take responsibility and fix it, or do they try and shift blame? Yeah.
And how about Haven? How long have you been part of, well, it used to be, of course, 2 or 3 years ago, the Greater Vancouver Home Builders Association, and they rebranded to be Haven. So how long have you guys been with Haven?
Oh, that's a good question. Time flies, right? Yeah. 4 years maybe would be my guess, maybe 5 years. Yeah. So again, it's another, again, it's not a governing body over the floor covering industry specifically, because like I said, that doesn't exist. But ethical flooring likes to plug into all of these various institutions, because it does create some accountability to you for sure. You don't want to have a reputation amongst your peers as being as being someone who does poor quality work or shady in some sort of way. So, and it also, again, it just connects. I mean, I've always come to this industry with learning as the primary. I came from a university background, not necessarily, though I was doing labor at the same time in the flooring industry. So it's this kind of weird hybrid that I came to, but I came into the flooring industry with that same mindset of thirst for knowledge and learning, and I've never stopped. So having these resources are really helpful to keep on top of the latest and greatest that's going on, because things are changing, as especially in our industry. It's every month there's something new, and you have to be on top of it, because maybe last month's ideas don't work anymore, or maybe the failure rate is too high, and you need to modify what you're doing.
Exactly. And I believe being part of organizations, the consumer too may say so-and-so company said this, and you come back and they follow up with you and you said that, and it's like, I actually am a member of an association with that person, and I don't think that person would say that. So it gives you a little bit of like I said, that commonality, that standard that just kind of lives a little bit above, and it also is inclusive, where I know these organizations just don't let in anybody. There's their due diligence in order to have your company, be part of them as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. They don't want a poor company tarnishing their name. Right. So like I said, I wish perhaps that there were, a body with a more authority over our industry, or at least certified training of some kind that were necessary before, like say you called yourself a flooring installer, or a certified sales professional, or even an inspector. There are some great programs out there, but you can also say or claim that you have expertise in flooring without any proof of it, I suppose. And that applies to me. Like there's nothing that I could really do that would say that, hey, other than my history of quality work for 21 years in North Vancouver, right? That and then my family before that. So I'm actually carrying on a 60-year history of my family doing flooring in North Van. So that keeps us accountable for sure. But yeah, it's a weird industry, and but it is getting more professional over time, and I'm thankful for that. I think of back when I joined, and it was wow, it was a lot of really weird things and really unprofessional things went on just in the industry as a whole. And I'm happy to see a lot of that's getting filtered out, and we're running a professional company in an interesting trade and interesting environment.
Yeah. So that's a great place to wrap it up. Amazing. And I'm almost thinking, Kevin, a little bit of a retirement job, getting a side gig of a school for certification. Just saying, might happen.
It's not a bad idea. At one point, I'd like to train and teach what I've learned, right? And I think a lot of people end up that route, but I got a lot of stuff in my head. The more I fit in my head, the more my hair falls out. So by the time I'm bald completely, maybe I'll be ready to start teaching.
Okay, continue. That's about wait, there's more. So tune in next Wednesday to see how much hair Kevin still has left on his head. And we'll be talking again on Fast Facts and Features every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you, Kevin. Great conversation today.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.